Hi everyone, so I'm speaking to you from my little balcony in Crete, where it's been a really beautiful day. But I want to talk to you a bit about Donald Trump. Okay, so not Donald Trump himself as a person, but what he represents to us. And I'm going to use him as a way for us to go a bit deeper and to explore the ways in our lives where we're perhaps out of alignment with ourselves, giving you some tools, giving you some questions, giving you some things that you can take away and practice either on Donald Trump, but also on other people perhaps that might be creating things in you and to whom you're reacting, to whom you're experiencing anger or hate or judgment or blame, or you're feeling negative towards these people or feeling very separate to them as well. These are the tools and questions you can use to kind of explore those and to go deeper with them. So the first kind of piece of information or tool is that the idea of focus creates reality. So there's kind of a common understanding that wherever we put our consciousness, our focus, we water. So in a way we kind of expand that, we kind of bring energy to that thing. So in shamanism they call it conscious dreaming. So we're either dreaming old stuff, we're either planting in our imagination old images of the world, things that we see on TV, things that we hear are the ghosts of our past, or we're planting new things in our imagination, and we're dreaming the world into being, dreaming a new world into being. Okay. Another way of seeing this is that whether you like it or not, Donald Trump is also an energy being and is connected to us through this web of interbeingness that is the whole universe. And as an energy being, he senses and receives, all this information, all this negativity, all these kind of vibrations. And so he's feeling them, and of course he's going to be reacting to them and responding to them. So that's a simple way of kind of understanding how what you're doing, where your focus is, what you're sending out, is in a way creating and feeding this reality. And so we end up creating more of the same if we're not aware of where our focus is and what we're sending out. So the next step is, how do we break the cycle? And that's the big question, okay? So you can check with this whether you're in alignment first with yourself, with your authentic inner spirit, if you want, with your highest self. When you think of the person that you might be exploring, for example, Donald Trump, when you think of him, her, they, whatever, do you feel calm? Do you feel in the eye of the storm? Do you even feel a sense of joy perhaps? Or do you experience a reaction? Are we experiencing anger and fear or sadness when we think of this person? Are we blaming them? Are we, pushing things towards them? Are we pushing hatred out towards them perhaps as well? So if we're doing that, then a part of us is not in this alignment. Now, we're all human beings, yeah? So we all are going to feel certain emotions with this. It's completely natural to feel these things. And at the same time, we can receive and we can go deeper with this and rediscover the lessons and the gifts that these reactions bring us. We could move through them, heal, transform, and move into a deeper space of alignment. So this is the kind of the tool, the questions to use. So the first thing is, when you think of, in this context, Donald Trump, how are you defining him? Okay, so what are the images that we have? So how are we defining him as a person? So it might be, I'm defining him as evil, I'm defining him as racist, I'm defining him as hate-filled, okay? How are we defining also his actions? So I'm defining his actions as divisive, as, again, racist perhaps, as filled with hatred and fueling more hate around the world. And we can also find a definition perhaps of what we feel at a deeper level in him. So I'm defining him as having fear of being out of control. I'm defining him as having a fear of immigrants. Okay, so you can explore those and really take your time to really see what comes up. In your list, you might have a massive list of how you're defining him, his actions, and what he kind of stands for. But make those lists, okay? Be quite objective, it's all okay. But the next step, and this might be the hard pill to swallow, is, what does he represent in you? Okay, so which part of you is he mirroring? So another way to think of this is, how do you do the same? So the first thing, how do you do the same to him, back to him? Yeah? Or whatever poor person you're exploring. How, and let's take the idea of fueled with hate. Okay, so how do we send hate back to him? That's the first question. How do I do it to them? How do I do the same thing to others, so to the wider society or people around me? So am I sending hate to people around me? Yeah, and as I say that, I feel quite moved by that, and I can recognize the truth in that in myself. And then the last thing is, how do I do the same to myself? And yes, in my case, yes, I have been dealing a lot with my own self-hate over the past years and months. So that does feel very truthful to me. Okay? So take time to really explore these and to feel these parts where you're sending out or doing the same thing to them, to others, and to yourself. Okay? And that's the part of you that you need to look at first, before taking action, before sending out whatever you're sending out to him or to life or to the world. So really, this is about finding that part in yourself. So, for example, finding the part in me that is hate-filled towards myself first. It's always towards yourself. But then also, how do I send that out to other people in my life or to the world? And that's the part that needs some attention and some mothering and some care. And, you can just find it in your body, put your hand on it, breathe into it, find a way to mother it, even to nurture it. And you might want to just breathe into it and just tell this small part of you, because this is a very small part of you, a limiting part of you. You're much bigger and more expansive and more light than this part of you, but it's important. How I see you, I feel you, I've got you, And how can I support this part of me that hates? Yeah, what can I do to help it transform back into what its original form was, which was love and light and creative energy? So finding those parts, finding those layers, and as you're finding those layers, opening your heart as much as you can to these more uncomfortable layers of yourself first, okay? And finding your compassion for yourself for these other layers, and inviting and asking for support and asking for help from yourself, from your deeper self, if you want, to find the space of alignment. To be able to be in the eye of the storm while all of this stuff is going on around you without getting triggered by the external events. And if you do, then great. That's a great learning experience for all of us and for you. Because from that space, from the eye of the storm, you can take real inspired action, and you can go and take action that has this clear focus, this clear intention, and this clear energy that comes from this space of alignment, and from that space your actions are far more powerful, okay? And you're not going into it with a space of projecting your negativity out while actually not looking at your own. And that's where you need to start, and that's what this video is all about. It's about looking at yourself first, and from that space, we'll have a different approach to the external events that are happening. Yeah. So I'd love to hear from you how you've put this into practice, and how it's been going on for you. So speak to you soon. Bye.